All right. See, I do start the occasional show on time. What up, people? It's your boy Chig from Gunner Eagle Eye, coming to you again with a brand new video. As you can see, myself and Ola are here on time. So let's just say hello to the people, Ola.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I've been on here. Thank you for bringing me on this nice evening for a chat. You know what I mean? It's nice to be back on here, man. It's nice to be back on here.
Uh,
And for once, we're not on black people's time. You get me?
exactly. The white person is on black people's time. What is going on here? See, for all you people who are like, oh, white Chig, why are you always late? Chig this, Chig that. You can now see. No, to be fair to him, he's not always the reason I'm late. But in this particular occasion, I wanted to show you that the two Nigerians as well that get the bad rep are the ones on time. Are the ones on time.
Yeah, we're on time today, man. We're on time today. You get me?
He did text me earlier to say that he was just having a last. You know, Lee's always having a last cigarette before he comes on.
Yeah, last cigarette, last toilet, last
last slash.
You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh! So yeah, I'm sure he'll come on soon. So do stick with us. Please do stick a like on this video if you haven't already. Like I said, Liverpool, you never walk alone. I don't know. I honestly don't. He said to me 5 minutes ago he was having a last cigarette. I don't know where he is, but hopefully he'll come soon. Let's get cracking. I'm sure he'll slip in once he's ready.
Yeah, he'll join us. He'll join us.
Well, these people, I miss you, brother, especially on the football topics.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit, like how you've been football wise. You know what? Before we mention the dreaded thing that no one wants us to really talk about, which is all over the TV at the moment. Before we mention that YouTube, I'm being careful. I'm not mentioning it. You're listening. I'm not mentioning it, right? At least it's been a while since I've had you on football-wise. Obviously, anyone who doesn't know, me and Ola do an MMA show. The link to that is in the description right now. But how are you feeling about Arsenal's season so far? We're going to assume it's not finished yet. We're just assuming.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a dire season for us to say the least. We've had three managers this season: Unai, Ljungberg, and Arteta. You know, to have three managers in one season. Yeah, to have three managers in one season is crazy, is absurd. But you know, we're going through this crazy transition at the moment, and it's been tough for the club. It's been tough for the team. It's been tough for the fans, especially the fans. The fans have had to go through so much. The amount of draws that we've had this season is been. I didn't know that a team could have that many draws in one season. But to me, it's been an up and down season. There's games where you think, oh, we've lost this game, then we'll come back and pull a draw. There's games that you think we've won this game and then we end up dropping points and getting a draw out of it. I mean, up until recent, I think maybe 2-3 games ago, we were still on the same amount of losses as Manchester City. And they're sitting down in second place. So to have the same amount of losses as them and they sat in second place shows you how much of drawing games could be a detriment. Sometimes it's almost better to lose a game than draw a game, if it makes sense, because of the points, because you dropping 2 points. If you lose two, say you lose say 3 games in a row, it's almost as bad as drawing three games in a row because you're on the road to nowhere, you know what I mean? So but I'm just happy we reached 40 points, because when we reached 40 points, you know what I was doing in there? I was celebrating we are staying up. Now, bro, I was celebrating, man. I've never had to do that. I've never had to do that as an Arsenal fan, but to celebrate 40 points and be celebrating that we were staying up. I mean, it's just been crazy. Look at if you look at the top of the table and the top goal scorers on there, to have Aubameyang right up there with Jamie Vardy and having the type of season that we're having, it's just mad. It's mad, and you can't say this guy ain't really doing his job, because he's putting the ball in the back of the net, but we keep leaking it in the back. And that's just been the story of the season. And the season has been crazy. And the one person that I didn't think was gonna come back and you know, the Olympiacos game will be the game that I will reference here. When Mustafi went off in that game, I knew we were gonna fucking lose. You know what I mean? That's the resurgence of Mustafi. Mustafi coming back with some mad resurgence that I'd never in a million years I put that down to him. But you know, he come back with the resurgence to the point where I'm saying, please, Mustafi, stay on the pitch, because he was having the fucking game of his life in that game, and then he went off. We ended up losing the game. So you know, it's just one of those. The season's just been weird, and but we are where we are. 40 points, we're safe. One thing's for sure: whether they finish this season, whether they void the season, whether they play next year, whether they play at Christmas, we're staying up. So is that Lee G I can see back there? Is that Lee Gunner?
This is decided to join up. The two black people on time. The white guy was the one running late.
Yeah, sorry for my lateness. Do you know what it was? Wifey done a nice Sunday beef roast. I was in a food coma, and I ended up having a nap on the sofa, reclining the sofa back.
Yeah, the itis. Don't worry about it. I hear you.
Yeah, man.
I hear you.
And I woke up with the beer in my hand, and I was like, "Right, I better get up."
it wouldn't be you if you didn't have a beer in your hand.
No, do you know what I'm saying? And I've woken up to Ola saying that the resurgence of Mustafi has been exceptional.
It's been absolutely, it's been exceptional, isn't it?
I've noticed he's already started swearing, Chig, so that's you demonetized.
No. Let's not go there just yet.
We're all good.
I've already told him he must not mention anything.
Yeah. I see it in the chat.
Well, the forbidden word, man. Yeah. Well, we'll stay off that.
I told him already, because our YouTube moved mad. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what their problem.
Decided to swear instead, but this guy every time he comes on, he's just effing this, effing that.
Oh dear! How you been today yourself, brother? Good?
I've been working, man. Just call me Rihanna, bruv. Seriously, work. I've been non-stop. I've recorded 4 videos, done a live stream, helped cook a dinner, fell asleep, woke up, and here I am. And I've still got to do another stream at 9 o'clock. I'm knackered, man.
You know, when I say I've been working, that's where Chick tells me I need a new job. You know what I mean? I was like, boy, you need a new job, blood. I'm like, bro. Times are hard right now. Times are difficult.
It's mad.
Yeah, man, times are hard. But
it's boring as well. No football, man. It's proper boring, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm missing it that much right now, though, man. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm missing it that much. Like the whole season, man, I'll pulling my hair out, man. I'm surprised you got any hair. Have you been seeing?
Have you not seen?
Have you been seeing? Have you been seeing Rooney's hair? Oh, say it. I thought you might be seeing Rooney's hair doctor or something. I thought they must be fixing you up, man. Oh, God.
For a while I find out what the hell is going on, because it just keeps freezing. But big up to everyone that is coming in. I hope you guys are well. Please do hit a like on this video. Share it around if you haven't already.
Yeah, Chigo, just noticed it don't even show that you're live either, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
It didn't show. It was doing the same to me the other night, mate. It didn't show that I was live when I did the watch along. I just typed your name, inserted it. Don't even show that you're live, mate. You have to actually click on your icon and go into your channel to see that you're live.
See, things like that do really, really harm the views. Things like that. I don't know what YouTube.
Yeah, it did it to me on the watch along the other day, mate. Yeah, nobody.
I know everyone's working from at the moment, but YouTube, come on now. Please do stick a like on this video. See, things like that is why likes are important. So please do stick a like on this video. I'm about to put it on Twitter myself, tagging these guys in, just so that people are aware that we are live right now.
I'll stick it on my video as well. Yeah,
please do. And hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. For those asking, I'm here. It's just that my camera, I don't know what. I've ordered a new camera, so it's coming. Spent a lot of money on it as well. So hopefully in future that will work and it will stop creating these sort of stupid lagging problems. All right, let's talk about a couple of things. Obviously, I wanted to get Ola's little view on this season because I ain't really spoken to him this season about football. We've spoken plenty about boxing and MMA, but not about football. So yeah,
I tell you what, that's been way more exciting than football this season, man. I tell you that. You know what I mean? It's been way more exciting than football, man.
Football's been exciting for the wrong reasons for
yes, for us, absolutely. I mean, you wouldn't say that for Liverpool fans. Liverpool, they were having the time of their life. You know, they were having the time of their life. Everything was rosy. Then Watford came along. All of a sudden, then Atletico Madrid came along. And I'm thinking, God damn, you know what? it might not be that rosy for Liverpool over. Then all of a sudden, this comes along. And I'm thinking, what, 3-4 weeks in a row? All kind of madness come on Liverpool. It's like Sleepy Gerrard just fell out. Just fell on the face one more time. You know what I mean? It's like fucking up. Nothing's going right. It's not happening for them. Right? It's not happening for them. And who knows? They might just void the season. You get me? That make me very happy. I'll be happy. No. You know, I don't wish that live. Actually, I do. No, I don't. But yeah. Liverpool, I want them to win the league, man. I want them to win the league.
I want to kind of touch on a few things with you guys. One of those things is going to be transfer stories. Obviously, I've led with that title-wise in terms of what the title of this video is. It's the biggest story that I saw today. I've got a feeling Lee's going to expand on his thoughts in his own transfer show. So I know he might not say too much about that particular story. But in terms of Griezmann, so obviously for anyone who doesn't know, in the Express today, they've highlighted that Manchester United and weirdly Arsenal are interested in Antonio Griezmann. Griezmann very famously said in 2018 that he likes Arsenal as a club, but he never wanted to come to us because of Arsene Wenger, funnily enough. Apparently, Arsene Wenger turned down the opportunity to sign him on one particular year. And then he's always held a grudge because of that. So he's just refused to come to Arsenal ever since. And all of a sudden, now that Wenger's gone, and at the earliest opportunity, the now 29-year-old Antonio Griezmann is being linked with a move away from Barcelona because since he's moved to basically with Barcelona, if you don't perform first season, they're going to look to try and sell you. And that seems to be what has happened. And obviously with Griezmann and his age, they look at him thinking, well, you're on a lot of money and you're not performing, so maybe we need to get rid of you. Lee, you have very strong views on Antonio Griezmann. What do you think about the story?
Antonio Griezmann is probably the better version of Antonio Griezmann.
I knew you was going to do that, Lee. I knew you was going to do that. I knew you was going to. I was thinking, is that a new Griezmann? Do we have a new Griezmann in town? Who is Antonio Griezmann? Who's this new guy? But you know what, Lee? Let us know who Antonio Griezmann is.
You can tell
He's hilarious. Antonio Griezmann, I've never heard of, but Antoine Griezmann, I'd rather have the E-Tech version. down at Norwich.
That's the
Cantwell. Cantwell is the Poundland version of Griezmann. Yeah, it looks like him, plays like him, probably better than him right now. He went to Barcelona for what, £100 million? Like, come on, seriously, man. He was never worth half of that. Yeah, decent footballer over the years, but is he in that elite bracket of footballer to be £100 million plus? The only reason they spent that much money on him is because they needed a big signing. It's as simple as that. And you know, they've got a track record, Barcelona, of Coutinho 130. Ousmane Dembele, another one overrated, 120. Griezmann, 120, 130, whatever it was. There's £400 million worth of players, just them free. And if you actually add up how much they're genuinely worth, it's probably not even 100 million. Let's be real. And you're right, what you said. If you don't perform in the first season, you're gone, or you're out the squad. And we've seen Coutinho's on loan at Bayern. Griezmann, come on, man. Seriously, I'd rather have a lot more footballers over him. Yeah, I'd rather have Coutinho over him. You know, I can't stand him. Yeah, I just don't think Griezmann.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, Griezmann, mate. I'm sorry. Griezmann 5 years ago, yeah, maybe. Yeah, Griezmann now, nah. He ain't all that, mate. He ain't all that. He's a decent footballer. He ain't. Let Man United go and spunk 300 grand a week on him, because I don't want him. Yeah, I genuinely don't want him. I'd rather go and get James Rodriguez over this guy, and you know I can't stand him either.
Damn, really?
Yeah, man. I don't see what anyone thinks Griezmann's going to bring to the table.
Sure.
Nah, mate, seriously, I don't understand what Griezmann does. I don't. Yeah, at Atletico Madrid, yeah, he was the main boy. He was the top guy. Yeah, he brought into that work ethic, the philosophy, etc., etc. But let's be real here, right? Messi runs Barcelona, and if Messi don't rate you inside a couple of months, you're gone.
Yeah,
simple as that. So I don't know, man. I haven't really seen a lot of him at Barcelona. I tend not to bother watching that league anymore. It's just people throwing themselves on the floor. But yeah, I don't want him, mate. Genuinely don't want him. Don't want him anywhere near this club. I'd rather us go out and spend money on a defender. I'd rather have him titty. We know we like him titties, yeah. You know, I'm saying that, yeah.
Yeah, brother.
I'd rather us go.
I ain't gonna be saying too much. I ain't gonna be saying too much on that one there, man. We keep that off air, innit? We keep that off air,
yeah,
man. You
get like watershed, yeah. Yeah, I'd rather us go and get him Titty, who's got mad injury record, big injuries, than go and get Griezmann. That's how much I can't stand Griezmann right now.
Wow. Okay.
So, yeah.
Interesting view. So you wouldn't. So I guess the title of the video is "You Wouldn't Swap Uber for him."
Bruv, I wouldn't swap.
I wouldn't swap you for him.
Straight up, I wouldn't even swap Mustafi for him.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Strong view. Much stronger than I was expecting. Strong against him. How about you? How about you, Ola?
For me, he gets in over Lacazette. I'd swap Lacazette for him. I'd have him in the team, because when you look at what he did for Atletico Madrid, even the national side, you get a strong 9 in front of him. He's a good runner off the ball. Every time we've played against them, he's always done a number on us.
Yeah. I remember that semi-final.
Exactly. So a man of his talent, he knows where the goal is. That's the one thing with this guy. He knows where the back of the net is. It might not look exciting and pretty, but when it comes to scoring goals, that boy knows where the net is. He's a World Cup winner. We love a World Cup winner at Arsenal, don't we? You know what I mean? Yeah. Another one. We love World Cup winners. And for me, over Lacazette, every day of the week, I love Griezmann in the team. And I think he can do something for this Arsenal side. If, especially the new ideas that Arteta is trying to bring forward. Obviously, it's going to take time for Arteta to actually instill what he wants to do in players like that? But can he actually pull players like that? Can he actually, manage egos of players like that? We haven't quite seen it yet. It's his first season, and someone like Griezmann on his hands, it's gonna take some handling to look after someone like Griezmann.
Sorry to butt in. You said that he knows where the goal is. I'm just looking at his stats: 26 league games, 8 goals. Yeah, 7 Champions League games, 2 goals. Copa del Rey scored 3 and 3.
Is that this season?
Yeah, that's this season. He's played 30.
Can we go to the season before this season that made Barcelona buy him from Atletico Madrid?
Okay, so now he's in a better team with better players, one of the best players of a generation.
Come on, everybody knows when you go to Barca, you look for Messi and you let him do his thing. Everybody tries to find that guy. Like, look at the amount of players that's been to Barcelona and left Barca. Yeah, I'm talking elite players: Eto'o, Henry, Ronaldinho.
We're talking about players.
Suarez, even Suarez. We're talking players that their numbers don't go anywhere near Messi, because even if you got open goal, if he's there, he wants the ball. You got to give him the ball, because if you don't, you could find that you're out of the team in the next game because he picks the team, don't you?
Now, what I'm saying is, right, the title of this video is, would you swap a Griezmann for Aubameyang? Griezmann's 1 month older than Aubameyang.
Oh, I wouldn't swap it for Aubameyang, but I did say I would swap it for Lacazette. You said you swap it for Mustafi.
Yeah,
so I was just trying to say, like, I still think he's a better footballer than Lacazette.
Do you know why I wouldn't swap him for Lacazette? Because if you look at him, he's 30 in May, right? He's on a 4-year deal at Barcelona until 2024, right? So it's gonna cost a lot of money. That's gonna cost more than it is to buy Lacazette. So we're gonna have to give him Lacazette plus money because of the size of his contract, the length of his contract, right? Lacazette's down to 2 years come the summer, right? So let's say Lacazette's worth 50 million. Do you reckon Griezmann's worth less than that?
Just to correct you, Lee, he turned 29 in March.
May.
Yesterday.
Oh, sorry, March.
That's still young.
Sorry. Apologies.
That's still young. That's still young. And well, it's not young, but you can still get good. You can still get good 3-4 years out of him. Because if you look at
Griezmann could go to 32. You're mad.
No, if you look at what the guys that are doing at the top level in the league right now. Yeah, look at the top of the table. Aubameyang, 30 plus. Aguero, 30 plus. Vardy, 30 plus.
Will Griezmann do that?
I think he can in a different team. If he comes to a Chelsea team, I think he can do. I really think he can do that. I think he can nail it. I think he can do it. He's played alongside some, people like Diego Costa. It's not a slouch. It's not a mug. This guy knows where the bloody net is. And for me, I would have him over Lacazette.
Total Hit Sweden in the chat says no to Griezmann, yes to Jota from Wolves. Jota's 23. I'll take him over Griezmann.
Yeah, I must admit, as much as I don't feel that way about Griezmann, I'd also think Jota's a better investment. If it means that we're going to lose one of our price assets anyway, I'd rather sell him for actual money and go and use that on a couple of different positions.
Yeah, if the question had been Jota or Griezmann, for whatever reason, then I'd say I'd pick Jota because he has experience in the league, he has experience here. But that, we're just throwing in Jota now. Jota wasn't it wasn't even in the question, it wasn't even in the frame of question. So we're talking about Griezmann, Oba, and the forwards that's in and around that caliber. And I think it's in that second tier. It's in that second tier of, say, the Lewandowskis, the Aubameyangs, the Diego Costas, or even Suarez. Is in that echelon. You know what I mean? I'll probably put Neymar and Mbappe just nearer to Ronaldo and Messi, and then those guys are just in that next tier. So that's where I rank him, and I think he can rub shoulders with those guys.
See, Tyrone in the chat says it's better than Jota. Sane is quality. I would also take him over Griezmann. Yeah,
the one you really want is Mahrez. That's the one you really want.
Yeah, come on.
Let's not bet about the bush. Let's not bet about the bush. You see, Lee was trying so hard to stay off of Mahrez talk, and he just dropped around his lap. You could tell he was trying so hard not to go anywhere near Mahrez. But yeah, we know you love Mahrez, man. He's your number one on the list.
All right, guys. What I'm going to do now, right? So I put up several stories today, which I tend to do when I'm bored. I like looking at Arsenal stories and just putting them on and sharing it up with my listeners. I want to get your kind of comments on them. Lee, you'll know some of these stories as well yourself. Let's start with this one, because this one's the one that definitely got the biggest reaction. And that is, today we've been linked with Newcastle midfielder Matty Longstaff. I sort of know where Lee will go with this. I'm going to start with you, Ola. What do you think of that link? Remember, he's 20 years old. To be honest, he's had a decent season, but there's levels to this thing, right?
Well, if you call decent season only scoring against United, then I don't know, because every time that gives us scoring against United, it disappears again. It disappears off the face of the planet. It's like none of the Longstaff brothers are available until United comes around again. So I'm not really keen on these Longstaff brothers, especially the ginger one, man. Like, you know what I mean?
That's the one we're linked to.
Oh, is that the one we're linked?
Yeah, that's what we're linked to.
What's your problem with people with red hair?
I don't got nothing against strawberry blondes. You know what I mean? People don't come at me, don't look for me. You get me? It's just man. We definitely need to be looking for higher caliber midfielders than Longstaff, and we got players. I mean, if Maitland-Niles can't get in our midfield, and we're gonna go and get Longstaff, like, what are we doing? You know, we definitely got players that of similar attributes. We still got Smith Rowe out on loan that can come back and do what Longstaff does from the middle of the park.
Can I play devil's advocate for a second, right? So I had a debate with a couple of people who commented on that, and I said, yeah, but I think people need to remember Arsenal are 9th, you know. So sometimes when you see a deal for a young player who potentially has the ability to play defensive midfielder, which is his position, maybe it might be worth the investment. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Well, is that to me or Lee?
That's still to you, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when we're talking about investments, I mean, it's got to be something that yields money, because we've lost a lot of money on investing on dog shit players over the years, and this is just going to be another one. Just going to be another one where you're not going to get nothing back on our investment. And to me, we definitely. I mean, if we're looking way out of the type of market where we picked up Martinelli from, and we'll go around there and start picking up players as young as it is with the type of talent, then you know they're going to appreciate in you're going to get more money back when you go to sell them. There's definitely going to be profit on it. But I mean, with this sort of players that Longstaff and those guys that we're being linked with, I don't see a light at the end of that tunnel, man. It's more darkness, brethren. I can't lie to you. It's more darkness.
Okay. Go on then, Lee. Where do you stand with this Longstaff thing?
I don't want to say too much because I've already recorded tomorrow's daily transfer update.
I thought you talked about this already. Okay.
So yeah, I spoke about him in the morning, but the video is plugged in for 7 a.m. Just putting that little plug out there. But there's two ways you could look at it. So I'm just going to sit on the fence, mate. Yeah, and go around the houses. There's two ways you can look at it. This could be a Georgie Wijnaldum or Gini Wijnaldum, whatever his name is, and Jordan Henderson won all over again. Yeah, where they're not fashionable names, but you take a punt on them, and they could kick on and fit your system perfectly, like them two do at Liverpool. Or it could be another David Bentley, or something like that, where you can spunk stupid money on the geezer, and it just don't really happen. If I was to say 20 million quid, I think he's out of contract in the summer. Is that right? I don't know.
Yeah. He's out of contract this summer.
So he's going to go
with all sorts of clubs.
Yeah, so I mean, he's going to go for decent money in terms of wage figure. So that could be another Kolasinac in terms of paying 140 a week, and he starts off all right and then just gets worse because he's comfortable.
Let me flip side you, because you've made this point before. What if we did a Ramsey Juventus with him? Well, we pick him up.
That's where I was going to go. That's what I was going to say. But you could get him and play him, and if he plays well, you then bin him for 30 million quid a couple of years later or a year later. Yeah.
He's English. He'll go for money.
But the thing is, for me, it's still a risk because I think he's only played about 6 games, isn't he?
Yeah, something like that. 4 games.
That's a big risk, mate. I think
6 games.
I think he scored the goal against Man United, which shot him to fame and glory. Steve Bruce has come out and said that he's got a lot of people in his ear at the moment. He knows how much Newcastle want him to stay. He knows how much Steve Bruce thinks of him. He's constant dialect with him every day. That tells me there's no smoke without fire, and we are looking at him. Yeah, and the thing is, if bigger clubs than Newcastle, no disrespect, come in for you, you're leaving Newcastle. Firstly, it's in the middle of nowhere, right? It's a banging night out, as we know, Ola. Right?
For real. Yeah, no joke there.
Have a great night out.
Yeah, but we love Newcastle, man.
It is miles away from anywhere. Yeah, whereas if you're down a little bit further south, then you're a little bit closer to some of your other friends that play for England youth setups and stuff like that, or play for other teams that you may know. Whereas at Newcastle, it's a long old way to come down to Manchester alone, let alone anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Personally, I do think he'll leave. Whether he's coming to us or not remains to be seen. Do I want him at Arsenal? I don't know, man. I don't know. Put it this way: he's better than Mesut Ozil, but that shouldn't be the criteria.
Is he better than Guendouzi?
Look at the midfielders we've got: Joe Willock, Maitland-Niles, Guendouzi, Smith Rowe. Is he getting in over any of them 4?
I don't think that's what I'm trying to say. We've got those guys. I don't see it. I really don't.
Probably not, exactly.
And Arteta loves Xhaka, so we know Xhaka ain't going nowhere. So
we just get rid of both of them. Yeah, buy Xhaka, get Arteta for free. 2 for 1. You know what I mean? You buy one, you get 1 free. I say you buy one, you get 1 free.
Oh gosh! All right, well, big up to everyone in the chat. I've literally put it on Twitter, so I'm hoping more people will start to answer. All right, then let's talk about another rumor. And now I saw you go ham with this one, so I know you can comment on this one, and that is Philip Coutinho. Arsenal once again are being linked with Philip Coutinho, to the point where apparently they've made an inquiry and they're seen as favourites to potentially get him. Ola,
I'd have him.
What do you think?
Before he even said what that, I'd have him. I'd have him straight away. I think he knows. And to me, it's a game changer in a lot of games. Every time that I've always seen that guy play for Liverpool, it's always been a game changer. It's another one that's gone over there to Barcelona. It's not really shown like he's the main man. And this is just something that happens when you go to Barca. It's just one of those things. But to me, he's a superstar. And for a team like us, it will do wonders for us. He can win games on his own with set pieces. He's a set piece specialist, as we know. 87th minute, you 2-2. You need somebody to put that ball in the back of the net from the edge of the box on a set piece. You know he can do that. We've got another guy on the other side in Pepe that we know is warming up to the league. He's not really done it. It's not pulled trees yet, but we know the capabilities is there. And if we have another one on the other side with like a Coutinho, two of these guys that can really go ham at defenders and terrorize them with a striker like Aubameyang with them, I think we can terrorize a lot of defenses. But the money, that's where the problem is. The investment is are we gonna get the type of investment to make such a signing? Because it's not gonna come cheap, and Barcelona ain't gonna sell him for cheap money. So for the amount that they paid for him,
what they talk about is a loan with an option to buy.
Well, the money, even when we get the for me, the loan is not going to be cheap. I still think the loan is going to come like Falcao's loan. If anybody remember, it's never going to be a cheap loan. So it's just one of those you might just put down the deposit like we did on Pepe and pay that money in installments, man. Just get out of the way, because it's not one of those where you think. How is it going to get, how is it going to be like in the league? We already know what it's like in the league. And Liverpool fans, like you just put on the screen just now, they'll tell you one or two things about him. Yeah, they might hate him, but they know what he's capable of. It's like Sterling. Yeah, you might hate him, but you know what he's capable of. And for me, I like Coutinho. I love him straight away.
I'm going to quickly give my opinion on this because I just realised I'm not actually doing so yet. For me, I wouldn't take Griezmann either. By the way, I just think it's too expensive for what you're getting. I feel like they're younger players that would be better investments. I wouldn't take Coutinho either, just because I've never rated the guy. I have never rated that guy. I think every now and again he's spectacular. Every now and again, so is Mesut Ozil. So I don't want another one of those. So I've never got it with Coutinho. I never got it. I never understood why it cost that money. And Barcelona clearly agreed because they've been shitting themselves ever since. And they've been trying to get rid of him ever since. Supposedly he did okay for Bayern, but even Bayern, in spite of the fact he got goals and assists, were like, nah. And they don't want him either. I think that in itself is quite telling. So for me personally, I wouldn't get Coutinho either. And I do think investing in another cam wouldn't be a bad idea, especially if you're trying to edge Mesut Ozil out the door, whether it's this summer or next. You've got to look, because we don't have that many, really. So I don't mind the idea of potentially looking at a future cam. I just don't think Coutinho is the guy that we should be looking for, in my opinion. Because like Ben says, Coutinho could be another Mkhitaryan, and we don't need another Mkhitaryan. So it'd be no for me. Lee, I'm going to leave you the deciding vote.
I don't want him anywhere near Arsenal Football Club. Straight up. I've never got the hype around him. Yeah, even Liverpool. Yeah, people. I see somebody put. I can't remember who it was because I'm not on that screen. I'm looking at something else and building a thumbnail. But somebody was saying he had 76 goal contributions in 152 games. Whoopie do. Mesut Ozil used to get assists. As soon as Giroud left, he ain't getting any. Yeah, take somebody off of free kicks, take somebody off of corners, and all of a sudden the assist stats dry up. So goal contributions to me, fantastic. How many of them are from open play? Yeah, because I'd love to see how many of Coutinho's stats and goals and assists and stuff like that are actually from open play. Yeah, because he scored a lot of free kicks, which is cool. I get that. Did he really do that much for Liverpool to warrant 130 million quid move to Barca? Nah. Again, they just went down the route of, he's Brazilian. He'll cost over 100 million. Yeah, sweet, we'll have him. That'll shut everyone up. Yeah, and now I think it's Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, who's the chief executive of Bayern Munich. He even come out and said, I said this on my live show earlier, he come out and said that Coutinho in training is fantastic, but in the first team every week, he ain't really that great, and they're probably not going to sign him. Yeah, so that.
I always watch you carefully. Always watch you carefully when you pronounce the Bayern Munich manager name. Easy.
Don't go down this racist one again. Jesus Christ! I got last week on there. Right, good God. We had to put that little clown in this place, didn't we? Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But you throw me off track, you twat. Anyway, the chief executive of Borussia Bayern Munich, so you throw me right off now. He said that he don't particularly think they're going to sign him, and that he ain't really done it in a match situation. So you've got Barcelona that spunked 130 on him. You've got Bayern Munich who've loaned him for 2 years and don't really want him. Why would we want him? We're going to pay him stupid money. Is he any better? Genuinely, yes, he's got 8 goals, 6 assists this season. Is he any better in terms of the whole squad that we have to elevate us up to a title challenge? No way, mate. Is he one for the future? No, he's 27. Why are we going to go and waste all that money on him when we could go and buy 2 other players with that money? So, yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I just think sometimes with these players, the young option is the better option. And he's another classic example of that. Okay. I'm going to butcher this next name. You know what's coming.
Yeah, right. Surnames. Yeah, let's see you butcher this one then.
Before I do that, big up to DJ Crane for the donation and just generally just shouting us out there. Thank you, DJ Crane. And I think that Stella's in honour to you, mate.
I'm not even on that screen, so I'm sorry, bear with me. I'll see it in a minute. But thank you, big up, real one, in my members chat last night as well. So that was good. The members stream I did. We had a good laugh. That was sick.
I'm going to have to make a fake profile just so I could become a member. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
It's crazy. It is stupid, I can't lie.
All right. Let's talk about this story, and I'm literally going to try and read it as carefully as possible. I can't actually find the story, which is annoying. Okay, while I do that, let me faff around a bit. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. I'm literally just trying to bring up a story that, for some reason, isn't shown in my community post, which is helpful, but please do stick a like on this video. I hope you guys are well. Let's talk about this one. I saw this story yesterday and I thought to myself, you know what? Maybe. Arsenal are eyeing Celtic striker Addison Edouard, who's the Celtic striker, 22 years old, French striker, has scored 27 goals in all competitions, 21 goals in the league, because it's obviously the Scottish League. But he's also scored in the Europa League, and let's face it, that's the competition at a minimum we're trying to get to next season. He's clearly destined for big things. He's being linked at the moment with us, Everton, and United have taken a look at him as well. Ola, do you know much about this guy?
Not really. Up until you just mentioned him there, I was going to say, what the fuck is that? But, you know, judging by the history of business that we've done with Celtic, it's not panned out really well, has it? So I think, and they're a very, very tough club to do business with as well. I know Tierney was like 25 mil, but with a club like our club and the kind of financial situation that we're in, because every year that we're not in the Champions League, we're losing money and we're depending on that sponsorship money and money from the owners to try and make up for the difference of what we're actually losing in the Champions League. So it makes it difficult for us to compete in the market. And again, the type of money that they're going to want for this guy is probably is this his first season at Celtic, second season? I don't know much about him. So I'm not going to sit here and say I know much about him. So
no, you're right. His second Celtic season.
His second season. So I don't really think he's that proven yet in a league like that where they win they win the league every season. It's gonna be hard to see how proven it really is. If it goes maybe 5 seasons and he keeps that goal tally up, then maybe I'll say, all right, it's not flash in the pan, and it's really about that life. And then he's maybe somebody that you can look to, but like you said, he's still young, so there's still plenty of time for that.
I will say this, Ola, in response to what you just said, and big up to Sergio for the donation. Thank you very much. 424. Let's just get rid of all the cams and get rid of Ursula.
That's a good suggestion.
It's definitely an idea. I would say the only thing I would say in response to that is Moussa Dembele, who I believe plays for Lyon now. He obviously played for Fulham before he moved to Celtic. Moved to Celtic, banged a lot of goals. That's
one that I would have had from there. You know what I mean? I definitely would have taken that one.
At the time, there were a lot of people when I suggested Dembele, because I quite like him as a player. I know Lee has a slightly different view, and I'll come to Lee in a second. But I quite liked him as a player, and I know a lot of people were like, "Nah, man, it's the Scottish League. What are you talking about?" I said, "I guarantee, whatever club he moves to, he'll still bang in goals. Man's moved to Lyon, he's still banging in goals." I feel like sometimes they're just goal scorers. They just score goals no matter where they are, and I've got a feeling that maybe this guy could be one of them. I'm not going to act like I watch Scottish football week in, week out. But whenever I see a Celtic highlight, my man is at the root of it. He is everywhere. He kind of plays like an old school Lacazette. Like, he drops deep, he collects the ball a lot, he tries to involve as many people as possible. You can see how he got 12 assists to his name. Let's put it that way. I don't think he's necessarily the most elegant skill-wise, but he's a hard worker. I'll tell you what, if I'm going to liken him to anyone, Ola, Agallo plays very similar, especially when Agallo was on his hot streak, plays very similar to him. Very similar. Strong, got a decent pace, but nothing frightening, but he's more strong, active. He likes to drop deep, 6'2", decent height as well. So I think if you're going to get rid of Lacazette, to me, I think he'd be a good backup striker. Let me get your quick opinion, Lee, on this guy. I know.
Funny enough, I've mentioned him in my transfer video tomorrow. I won't give too much away again, but his goal output is ridiculous, mate. He's got 12 assists, 27 goals this season.
Yeah.
I know Ola just said that he might be a one-season wonder, or he's not prolific over a period of time, which is very true. But at the same time, neither was Dembele, who went to Lyon and is ripping it up at Lyon. Lyon might be selling Dembele. Could Edouard end up at Lyon and then Dembele leave? So I don't know, man. Listen, the record signing out of that league is our left back, Wifey Tierney. He is the most expensive player to have left that league. So I think that if somebody was to sign this guy, I think that would be a new record. I think he'd be worth more than 25 million. And do you know what? I don't really watch that league, but what I have seen of him, his movement's unbelievable, mate. He's quick, he's strong, he knows where the back of the net is. We've seen that, albeit the opposition are dead up there. Is he quality enough to walk into a top 6 team? Probably not. Are we a top 6 team? Nope. So you know what I'm saying? So maybe we should go and have a look at him. Maybe that should be what we're looking at. Somebody like that. So we could go, right, okay, cool. Laka, you're gone. We'll take this guy. We then have Martinelli, him, and Pepe. And then obviously see what happens with Aubameyang. And we move from there, innit? But I'd take him.
Big up to TU Shifts. Thank you, man. I appreciate the donation. And howdy to you too.
Big up to everyone. TU Shifts, Ben.
Hopefully I ain't missed any other donations. Please do stick a like on this video if you haven't already. That is the best donation possible. Them likes. Drive up the likes button. I appreciate it so much. And yeah, let's on we roll then. So I would also have him, just to give my quick opinion on that. I think he's got good movement. He's strong. I like him. As everybody knows, regardless of what happens to Uber, I would sell Lacazette. And I think it's the perfect Lacazette replacement. Like Lee says, do I think he should be starting games? Probably not. But I don't think there's no reason he can't earn it. And I feel like good competition for Martinelli is always healthy. You know, I think if Martinelli is the guy to step up instead of Aubameyang, then great. But he does need that competition to drive him. And I feel like that's where someone like this kid could be useful. So let's see what happens. All right, then. For some reason, yes, there's one more story I wanted to talk about. And that is the centre-back, Avin Indika.
I've literally just set a stream up for 9 o'clock talking about him.
Oh, really? All right, don't say anything. I'll leave this for Ola, right? Do you know a lot about Indika, Ola?
The only indica I know is ganja, brethren. That's the only indica I know. But I saw on the news today. I was asking my 12-year-old who this guy was, and he was telling me he's from Frankfurt or something like that. My 12-year-old knows about him more than I do, so I had to get a little information about him from my boy, and he says he's decent, but again, he's being monitored by Liverpool and Arsenal, I believe, and I mean, if they're looking at him, you know, then there's got to be something decent about him, because to be fair to them, their scouting has been spot on until now. So anyone that they're looking at, I don't think you can turn your nose up on it. So they must see something really, really good about him. And, you know, by all accounts, he's a very, very, very capable defender. And I can't say too much about it because I don't know him like that. I've not watched any of their games out there in Frankfurt. So, but one thing's for sure, if Liverpool's looking at him, then there's got to be something decent about him. So I'd say he's definitely a player to take a punt on.
Okay. I'll say yes, of course. I won't come to Lee, will I? This guy does look good. I like the fact that we've got a few options and that we're not just placing everything into the Upamecano basket, because I think a lot of people are killing themselves. You know, I think, like Lee says, you guys really need to get used to this idea that we ain't no top 6 club. So if Upamecano is choosing between us and Barca, guess what? Barca is the one that he's going to go to. Just like with a lot of clubs, and I think people underestimate that. I've said this for a very long time. I don't believe Upamecano comes to Arsenal. People don't like that, but I genuinely don't think he comes. I think he's got his pick of so many clubs. I'm yet to see why he'd come to us, unless we just were all out aggressive and Arteta made like some sort of real big plea to him. For me, I don't see it. I'd be surprised if he comes, but and if he doesn't, this is where you have someone like an Indika, or for me, I would love a Jonathan Tah. I would love a Nathan Ake. I've heard people say that before. I would love these sort of players that could not even necessarily play with alongside Salah, but just someone to come in and improve our defense generally. I think Nathan Ake would be a popular choice because he's got Premier League experience. My only issue with Nathan Ake is this injury record.
Yeah, his injury record is bad, isn't it? It's really bad.
It does. He's had a couple of knee injuries, and you know what I say about knee injuries? You don't really come back the same. That's why I quite like Jonathan Tah, because Jonathan Tah has played going back to Ola's point about the Celtic striker, he's played at a consistent level, Champions League level, for a few years, and is still 24 years old.
He's been in that team for so long. It looks like he's been there forever, and he's so young. He's still so young.
And he's only 4. It's a big unit as well. I quite like the idea of this a big big black motherfucker bouncing at the back. I like that.
Are you allowed to say? Is that racist?
I could say.
You can't say it.
Listen, for me, I ain't sensitive like that. There's some that are. There are some that are. We know who those are. But apparently, if I'm not offended, it's a problem, and people start making videos about it. So, if I'm not offended by you being allegedly racist,
can I read a couple of comments out real quick?
By all means, brother.
Yeah, there's two comments I want to read out because this guy spammed the hell out of your chat like he does in mine every time. He said, I really want big names at Arsenal. The big names are the best players. Look at Messi. He's a big name. Ronaldo, big name. Aguero, big name. Jota, Edward, no big name. Can I just say something to you, mate? Yeah? Mesut Ozil is a big name, and he's been shit for 6 years. Also, Falcao was the third best player on the planet when he joined United. He done nothing. Fernando Torres was a big name when he went from Liverpool to Chelsea. Done nothing. There's been big name after big name after big name come to the Premier League and done nothing. I would take Jota and Edouard over Coutinho and Griezmann in an absolute heartbeat. I hope that clears that one up. Second question was from Robert Smith, AFC 71. He says, Chig and Lee, how about doing a watch-along of the Anfield 89? It's on YouTube. What channel is it on YouTube and when's it on, mate? Let me know. So thank you for that. Big up everyone else in the chat as well, by the way.
All right. Got big up to Aaron as well for the donation. I've met my dog in person before. I don't know if you know this story. Literally, I was on the tube station, headphones on, in my own world. My man was tapping me on the shoulder. Doesn't tap me on the shoulder. He was looking at me. I'm like, who's this brother looking at me? Am I going to have to get ghetto? Because that's what it's like. You think to yourself, all right, who's this geezer looking at me? Is it going to be a thing or is it going to be a friendly thing? And he was like, are you Chig? And I was like, yeah. Well, why? And he goes, I love you and Lee's shows, man. You and Lee crack me up. So yeah, good guy, Aaron. So
shout out to that brother there, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. We vibe in the chat all the time and things. So you know, always got time for people that give you the right energy and the right vibe in the chat on Twitter. If you come with the right energy, you come correct. Politeness don't cost a penny. You come correct as somebody. You know what I mean? You get the same energy right back, and that's why I vibe with this brother, man. Shout out to that brother there. Aaron Cannon, my guy.
So thank you very much for that. Guys, we will be, don't think we're ignoring you. We will do literally a very brief Q&A, but then obviously you've seen Lee, he's working on his thumbnail at the moment.
I'm done.
He's got to set up and prepare.
Yeah, man, I've got 31 minutes. You can do what you want to do, man. 31 minutes you got.
So make sure once you finish it, you all go over to Lee's channel and tell him Chig sent you. So remember that. All right. Let's talk about Aubameyang. I really want to get both of your opinions on it. Right? I've got a feeling you'll disagree.
Yeah, we are.
Okay. So Ola, Emre Aubameyang. Now, obviously, this is a big problem. It's not often I say this. I completely agree with Lee here in this situation. It's the one situation where from the very get-go, me and Lee have agreed from the start to now. I genuinely have agreed in every single stage. Up until even since last summer, where I said, you know what? I love Aubameyang. If he wants to go, I would sell him. And I still maintain that even what he's done this season, yes, I would like him to stay. But if he doesn't stay, that's
the argument, yeah.
Now, what is your opinion on this Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang situation?
The thing is, every player, everybody wants to get onto their last year of contract. All of them is doing it. Even we know Don Raul promised us a few things at the start of the season. Yeah, players say we're not going to allow players to do this. If you're in the last year, we're going to sell them. No player is going to get past 18 months. Listen, every single player that's out there, they're doing this thing where they're holding on right to the end. And if they want to resign, then they can resign on their own terms and get all the money. a lot of it is trying to cut agents out as well, because the actual fee for the transfer goes all goes to the players. So I know I've always said it. If he wants to stay, by all means, sign him up. I wouldn't push him out of the club. I actually want him. They say he's too old. This guy is 31. He's still got 2 free seasons. He's still got two seasons, at least 2 very good seasons in him. And I don't think we're going to recoup the investment that we laid on him. We're never going to get it back. You might as well keep him. You might as well keep, because we are already in the we set up the wheel to start getting players that are going to bring us profits. So if we're not going to get nothing on Aubameyang, the return we get from Aubameyang on the pitch outweighs what we're going to get on him financially. I really, really do.
So you'd let him go for free potentially.
If that's what it comes to, I'd keep him.
You're smoking some high grade up in Wellington.
I'd keep him. It's that indica, man. I told you, yeah. Right, for me.
Is that back out here? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yo, one thing's for sure. If this is for me, the money we're gonna get for him outweighs what it gives us on the pitch. If we went for Aubameyang right now, we'd be talking about going to the championship. Say what you like about this guy. Say what you like about him. If we went for Aubameyang, we're going championship this season.
I disagree.
We're going champion. How much is that going to cost us? Oh, so take Aubameyang's goal away. We're 19th place. How are you disagreeing?
If we're playing with 10 men, then yeah, we don't play with 10 men, so somebody else will take his place. Put Martinelli there, just we'll be relegated.
I hate that example because you know what?
Come on, close that.
No. The reason why I say that, yeah, you say put Martinelli there or put somebody else there. We've had Lacazette in the same team the whole time, and it's not doing nothing.
Okay, do you think if we had put Martinelli instead of Aubameyang this season, we'd be relegated?
No chance.
There's a 50-50 chance of that happening, but there's a 50-50 chance of that happening. But with Aubameyang made sure that that's not the case, and his goal tally in the Premier League says it all. You can't deny it. And this guy plays out of position every game.
I'll even grant you that maybe he scores more than Martinelli. I'm not debating that. Obviously, he's a seasoned vet. Martinelli's just coming into the game. So
this is his second season. It's not seasoned vet. This is his second season. This is his second season with Arsenal. His second full season.
Bro, that's what he means.
Oh yeah, all right. Well, I thought you were talking about Premier League. I thought we were talking about Premier League. Like this guy's only been in the Premier League for 2 seasons. This is like his second season in the Premier League, man. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on?
You know what I'm talking about. He's a seasoned professional.
Straight vodka. Look, he's got a pint of straight vodka. You're mad.
Gin and tonic, my friend. Gin and tonic. That's wifey's recipe right there, man. Shout out to wifey on Mother's Day, man. Shout out to all the women on Mother's Day. Still, you get me? Shout out to you, lot.
Of course. Big up to all the women who are watching this. Happy Mother's Day, especially if you're a mum. I hope you guys are well. I can't believe it's weird with all this stupid crap going on. You forget stuff like this. So gosh, yeah. For real. Happy Mother's Day.
Look, there's no way I'm throwing shade on Martinelli. Martinelli has been very exceptional. And I mentioned it earlier on that if we're signing people from where we got Martinelli from, then I'll be very, very infused because I think he's a fantastic, fantastic player and he'll do well for us moving forward. But for what Aubameyang is actually giving us this season, I think he's been phenomenal. Playing out of position and, playing under 3 different managers this season and still putting the professionalism that he's putting into the club. I mean, you can't ask for more than that.
Sorry to cut you off. Do you think he was professional when he was walking around the pitch in some of the games this year? Yeah, where he couldn't be bothered, where he downed tools and got Unai Emery sacked. Do you think he was professional in that then?
All right. Look, all of them were doing it. They were all doing it. All of them were doing it. Yeah, but they were all doing it though. You know, they were all doing it.
Yeah, but that's what they're all doing it.
Remember, that's Emery's captain. Emery picked him.
No. Shaka was Emery's captain.
Who named him? Who named him? Emery named him as captain once he sacked.
One of the 5 captains.
No,
one of the 5.
When Shaka got stripped, he made Aubameyang captain.
That's Emery's captain, bro.
Yeah.
That is Emery's captain.
Hey, I see you put Lewis White on the thing, yeah. Let me bait up this brother right now, yeah. I banged him on FIFA, yeah. Before I came live on air. 7-2. Yeah, that brother there is hating blood. Yeah, that brother there is hating. I banged him on FIFA. I took my trophy back off of him. And now he's talking some nonsense, putting some nonsense on the fucking chat. You know what I mean? Let me bait up that brother right there.
Chat room.
It's all love, Lewis.
Lewis is our boy. Don't get at him. He's having fun with Ola.
No. He's just playing with me, man. He's my brother. He's my brother, man. You know, we just literally kicked it before I came on air. You know what I mean? We just literally kicked it. He's my boy, man. Don't get at Lewis, man. He's just playing. Man. He's playing.
Calm down. Don't get at him. He's our boy. Because I can see that guy's going nuts. What you mean, Lewis? Wet white? Like, relax, brother.
Yeah, man. Allow Lewis. Man. He's my boy, man. He's my boy. He's just playing, man.
In fact, you might see Lewis he's been on the show a couple of times. I need to get him back on the show.
Lewis is down, man. Hey, listen, this is my take on Aubameyang, yeah? Right? Every single person, I've seen you say it, I've seen Claude say it, big up Claude. Yeah, I've seen so many people say it, that if we didn't have Aubameyang, we'd be relegated. Complete nonsense.
Would be fighting it.
No, hear me out, yeah. Hear me out. Trust me, right? Because I'm going to close your arguments up like I'm closing a front door, my friend. Right?
Okay. I already know the direction you're going to take. I already know. Right? Go on.
So we're not playing with 10 men, right? The 6 teams that are at the bottom 6 of the table are all worse than us. Even if you take Aubameyang out and take his goal tally out, yes, we would be bottom 3. Now put Martinelli's goal tally in, yeah, and double his games, therefore potentially doubling his output, yeah, you would then see us rise out of that bottom 3. So it's very easy to say take Aubameyang's goals out, but then you're putting somebody else in. If you're putting Martinelli in, you've then got double the amount of games because he's played half the games of Aubameyang. He's our second top goal scorer. And for me, Aubameyang is not the be-all and end-all of this football club. When you said about I'd let him go for nothing because I think...
how you getting married, man? You didn't invite us, man. TD Chiefs, man. How'd you end up being TD Chiefs' wifey, man? You didn't even invite us to the wedding. What's going on here?
when you're talking about keeping Aubameyang's worth more money than selling him, I disagree. Right? And the reason I disagree is we're going to stay in the Premier League regardless of whether he was in the team or not. Right? Yes, we're having a wobble. Yes, we've steadied the ship a little bit. Yes, we're moving on. Right? Now, Aubameyang, we could get 50 million quid for right now. So let's assume that. Let me just very quickly answer this. Tyrone says, do you expect Martinelli to get 18 goals? Yeah, I do. You play him up front all season, he'll score 18 goals. Michael Owen proved he can do it, and he's the same age as Michael Owen, so why can't he do it? But anyway, you get rid of Aubameyang, £50 million, yeah? You've got cash 50 million. You can go and invest that in another player for 50 million, then you just pay the wages, right? Let's say you're paying that new guy 100 grand a week. Right, that's 5 million a year for 5 years. You're now talking 25 million plus the 50 million, plus a little agent thing, plus a little sign-on thing. You're now talking 85 million pound investment. If you allow Aubameyang to walk out of this football club for free, that 85 million pound investment you've spent on the next guy is out of cash money in your bank. That is without the 50 million coming back in. So that 85 million pound investment is now 135 million pound investment because you have allowed a 50 million pound asset to leave for nothing. Exactly. There's no way in a million years that geezer should walk out of this club for nothing. I don't care whether he scored 20 goals last season or 30 goals or 100 goals. That geezer is playing us like a fiddle.
Then the powers that be. No, I don't think he's playing us. I think the powers that be aren't sticking to their words. I think they're not sticking to their guns, because they told us, regardless, it don't matter who he is. You come to 18 months of your contract and you don't sign, it don't matter what your name is. You're out of the door.
Okay,
Why haven't they done it? Why haven't they done it?
Right, because the transfer window's shut, so they can't get rid of him now.
Oh, they could have transfer listed him in January. Why did they do that?
Maybe they've said to him, look, stay until the end of the season. In the summer, you're gone. Right?
Then that's not Aubameyang's fault.
The more logical explanation, right?
Let's see what happens.
At the end of the day, if they do not sell him in the summer, they should all jack their jobs, because I'm telling you now, there will be a little mini revolt. I
agree with you. I agree with you on that, because to me, they should have transfer listed him in January. If they really meant what they said, that it don't matter what your name is, how big you are, how important you are to the team. If you come to the last 18 months of your contract and you don't resign,
they actually said 2 years.
2 years, exactly. He still had 2 years at the time when they said that. So if the talking ongoing and you come into 18 months, the next window that opens, it should have been transfer listed. Okay, so you know what I mean? At least then we know that the intention from the club is there. It's Aubameyang that's making it difficult to get himself sold.
Let me ask you a question. Socrates, Mustafi, David Luiz, Aubameyang, Saka, Mesut Ozil. There's 6 players, all in the last 2 years of their contract. Are you getting rid of all of them this summer? Do you reckon they'll do that?
It's their job to it's their job to pull the trigger and say it don't matter. Look, this is what they said to us. I'm only going by what they said. This is what they said, you know. And if they've said that to us, they should at least activate it. And if the players refuse to go, then we know it's not the club, because the club is held their part of the agreement. It's the players that's making it difficult to make the sale happen.
This club also said that we're moving to the Emirates to compete with Europe's elite. We're struggling to compete with Burnley. They also said about the 2 years thing, right? Now look at it like this, right? Let's assume, and the reason I said that,
and I'm talking Raul and Vinay now. Forget the Gazidis and their eras.
But let's when I said Aubameyang's playing us like a flute, or like a fiddle or whatever, right? That guy put in his program notes on Chig's birthday, the 6th of January, when we played Leeds United. I don't listen to all these transfer rumours. It does my head in. It does my head in. How comes we're nearly in April, bruv, and you still ain't signed then? And I'll tell you why he hasn't signed. Because he wants the big money, or he's waiting for the summer to come, so then Barcelona come in and say we want to get you and replace Luis Suarez. It's as simple as that. And if the club do not sell him in this summer, if he hasn't signed by the 30th of June, which then kicks into the next year of his contract the next day on the 1st of July, this club will have a lot of angry people on their case, because then it is another Sanchez situation.
I agree 100%. The club has to take precedence on this.
If he doesn't sign by then, you have to sell him.
Let me interject very, very quickly, because a few things have happened. Thank you, TD Shifts, for the donation. Lee is your wifey indeed. Pramod, I did see your comment that says I should read your donation. I didn't see your donation. So just put your comment in the chat. You don't need to donate or anything. You normally donate, so there's no reason for me not to believe you. And not even if you hadn't donated, of course I'd pick up your comment anyway. I haven't seen it. So you
didn't see it. You're like Wenger right now.
I've got his donation right here. Shout out Pramod. He said, "Do you think we'd invest in defense with 8 centre backs on the payroll? Do you think we'd invest in our defense with 8 centre backs on the payroll?" Shout out to Pramod for that donation. 40, I don't know what that currency is, but 40 is big. Shout out to you, man.
I think it's Ruby, I think it's Ruby.
Right.
You got to get down with the program with these things, man.
Bro, I don't get donations like you, man, brethren. You get me? You man, I only fuck with Spouse Sterling's, brethren. You get me? House Sterling is the only donations I know.
I genuinely didn't see it. Not a Wenger thing. I legitimately didn't see it. So.
I didn't see it.
Thank you very much. And also, apparently, Lee Robert Smith sent you a Facebook message.
Mate, listen, I don't reply to anyone on Facebook, so that was probably a waste of time, my friend. Maybe by DMing me on Instagram. I don't even know how to use Facebook, so yeah,
fair enough.
maybe DM me on Instagram.
Just for me, and just to quickly give my thoughts before we come to just to give my quick thoughts on Aubameyang. I completely agree with Lee for the simple reason that I feel it's a load of rubbish when people say that we'd have been relegated. There would have been an option. There would have been a solution because we would have had to thought of a solution in order to replace not all of Aubameyang's goals, but at least some of them. So I think regardless of what would have happened, who's to say really that Lacazette would have been on this barren run if Aubameyang wasn't in the team?
True.
I'm not suggesting it's Aubameyang's fault. I'm just saying we don't know. We don't know.
I guess we'll never know.
When people say that, because Lacazette up until this season was banging in goals. This season is little. Admittedly, I accept it. But I feel like it's a load of rubbish when people say that. Second of all, I completely agree. What's the point losing out on 50 to 60 million pounds that you can reinvest on somebody else to then face the exact same problem end of next season? Except now you don't have money to help you, and then people want to go and bitch to the owners. It's like, well, we had a solution here, and a year later, now we have less that. This is where I do sometimes realize what Lee's talking about. Because as much as I can't stand the owners, when Arsenal fans suggest things like this, oh, well, we should just run his contract down. Cool. Then they'll come bitching to the owners a year later when they don't spend money.
The perfect example of that, Chick, the perfect example of that is Alexis Sanchez, right? We rejected £60 million for Alexis Sanchez from Manchester City. We then swapped him a year later for a donkey who is now playing at Roma on loan. And everyone wants to cry about Stan's the problem. He wants money, money, money. If he wanted money, 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 he would have ripped your arm off Man City for 60 million, wouldn't he? Yeah?
100%. I mean, for me, and big up to TD Shifts again for the donation message for all of that. For me, and this is where I feel like selling him is the obvious thing. It's not the easiest thing. Don't get me wrong. But ultimately, if the boy doesn't want to stay at the club, if you want to stay at the club, you sign a contract. The best way to shut up, and this is where I do feel what Lee's saying, if you really are that tired of the stories, bro, sign the contract. Otherwise, I don't want to hear your bitching. I don't want to hear it. It's the same, to me, it's the same type of concept when Ramsey was smiling in interviews and stuff like that. And I'm like, hold this fool.
Yeah, that was hard.
Hold this fool. Sell him now. And we let him go for free. Which, say what you want about Aaron Ramsey, British players always go for money.
Yeah.
And we could have got a decent amount of money for him.
Bro, we could have got 50 million quid for him with a year left on his contract. Simple as that.
100%. And this, to me, I'm sick of letting players run their contracts down, and then the next season you see Arsenal fans bitching. No, let's not do that. It's going to be hard to sell Aubameyang. Don't get me wrong. He's been a superb player for us. I want him to stay. But I'm also not down with this, and this is where, shout out to Kenny Ken, I feel his words here. I'm also not about begging players to stay.
Exactly.
Absolutely not. I don't think it's about begging players to stay. I still think it's down to people like Raul and Vinay, who said, they gave the fans their words and said, this is what we're going to do when it comes to a period like this in their contract, and we're not going to give no player any exceptions.
Yeah.
And they haven't really stuck to it.
No, I watched that interview. No, I disagree. They haven't stuck to it as such. Yeah, I watched the exact interview. I actually done a reaction to the interview, both parts.
Yeah, I saw your reaction, and you was bigging them up on the night.
Yeah, I was bigging them up, and you know what? A year later or whatever it may be, I'm sitting here. It's nearly a year actually. In May it will be a year since I did that video. A year later, they've been a pair of frauds. It's as simple as that. But at the same time, let's just relax a little bit. You know, maybe they've said to Aubameyang, listen, carry on, keep your head down. You can go in the summer. Yeah. Maybe they've said that. Let's not forget here. Let me answer Pramod's question because we read his donation, but we didn't answer his question.
Yeah.
In terms of the 8 centre backs that we've got
to sell.
Mustafi, Louise, and Socrates have all got less than a year left come the summer. So there's 3. Mavropanos is dog shit. So there's 4. Marie is on loan. There's 5. So technically, we've only got 3 centre backs. Yeah, plus 3 that are on the last year of their contract. We need centre backs. For me, a centre back is and sorting the Aubameyang deal out one way or another is more important than anything else. In fact, actually, I lie. The most important thing is getting rid of Mesut Ozil off the wages. Full stop.
Oh yes, because he's the reason he hasn't agreed a contract. Papers are saying it.
Would you give Aubameyang some of Mesut Ozil's money?
I'd renew his contract. Do you know what I'd do? I'd take £18 million out of the bank account. I'd say, there you go, mate. Now jog yourself on. It will be a jog because you don't run. So jog yourself on to America. Go and run your coffee shop and go and play for New York Galaxy or whatever they're called. 100%. Yeah, right. And then I'd go, here you go, Mr. Aubameyang. Sit down. There's 350 grand a week. Well, welcome to the club for the next 3 more years, mate. Yeah, that is what I'd do. That ain't going to happen. That geezer, that fraud will still be here next season. Aubameyang will leave in the summer and everyone will blame the owner. Or they might blame AFTV because that's a trend as well, isn't it? Oh, let's blame a fan channel.
No, man, I'm blaming you, blood. I'm blaming you.
And for me, someone made this point in the chat room.
I'm going to order a Domino's if you carry on. I'm to your house.
Forgive me. I think it's Tyrone that made this point. I would rather we sold Aubameyang and invest that money on someone like a Thomas Partey,
exactly,
for example.
Yep.
Than let Aubameyang stay a year and then we get a Longstaff.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real here. Let's be real here. People are moaning about Longstaff. We don't have money like this. Well, what do you expect us to do,
bro? The only Longstaff that I'm interested in is between my goddamn legs. I don't wonder.
As soon as he said it, I knew that was
bro, I don't want that Longstaff from Newcastle. He can stay there. You know what I mean? We're not paying for that fucker. Keep him over there, man.
Oh
no Longstaff.
I suppose I should wrap this. Before we get into some trouble. But big up to everyone.
Listen, in your chat, I've put the link for my show. Yeah. In your in your private chat.
In the private, okay. So big up to everyone who is watching. We obviously have to wrap things up. I knew an hour and a half would go quickly.
It always does.
We should do this.
It
always does.
It goes like 5 minutes.
We are very seamless when it comes to this thing because it's not a business arrangement for us. It's always love when we do this stuff. And we create gold shows like the Domino's episode, which 6 months later is still being talked about.
That was lit. That was absolutely lit.
That was hilarious. Man. That was top notch. That was hilarious.
So guys, you can see me spamming the chat. That link is to Lee's show. See, I could spam my own chat. There ain't nothing wrong with that. So please do make sure you go and check Lee out. You know what Lee's like.
The video.
He'll have 2 cigarettes and he'll eventually join you. So make sure you go wait for it. Big up to Pramod Egesi. I see this one. I see this donation. Dunk Decore party would be a good window.
Let's have a fucking party.
Interesting.
All 3 of them.
I would love all 3 of them. I'd love all 3. I know I've gone a little bit lukewarm on Decore, but I still think if he had a move, he'd be much better than Granit Xhaka. So
rewind. Yeah, every single person in this chat room and us 3 are better than Granit Xhaka. Let's not get it twisted. We're all more mobile, and I've got osteoarthritis, bruv. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Oh man, big up to everyone in this chat room. Us 3 will do it again. Ola was in high demand, so there's no way I kept ignoring it. That's why I had to bring him on.
Shout out to everyone, man. Shout out to you lot in the chat room, man. I love you all, man. It's all love. And whenever us three get together like this, you know, it's always a mad thing.
Mate, remember
it's always a mad thing.
Chick, do you remember when he came onto the watch along and just started baiting it up and we kept making him shot?
Fam, you got me drunk on that thing there, man. Like every swear word you got. Boy, I finished a whole bottle of rum live on air, blood. Like I was wasted that night, man. You're something else.
Swearing, wasn't it?
You were dope.
I love you.
Sorry for
my
lack of camera. Literally, the camera. I don't know what's going on. This is exactly why I bought a new one. It is on its way. Hopefully, let's just say C word pending. But hopefully, be on its way. YouTube, see, I've been good. I don't want to be flagged. I'm still spamming my chat.
They're moving mad at it, yeah. And then you got certain man like Drew Geordie, yeah, putting it in his title and that, and it's all fine. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, how about the big ones instead of the little ones? Yeah,
it's crazy. It is crazy. But I hope you guys are seeing the spam chat. I have just seen those 2 donations. Big up to DJ Crane. If Ola's on pay-per-view, I'm buying.
Let me tell you very quickly. DJ Crane told me this here. Do you remember the program back in the day called Cheers? And big up DJ Crane. You're a real one with your Stella, bro. But come on, yeah. My man wrote to Netflix because they took Cheers off of Netflix. My man wrote to him and said, "You're a disgrace. I only brought Netflix on a monthly basis for that show. They cancelled it for everyone else. The real one's got Cheers on his Netflix."
Oh, is it?
He was telling me last night. And TV shifts as well. My boy Max, come on, man. These two are members of the channel, baby. Yeah,
I see TD shifts around here for a bit though. TD shifts, what's going on? So I hope you are well. He does want thoughts on his last donation. I can't remember what his last donation was.
Well, I don't know about that, mate. I'm not that way inclined, but you know, my wifey and your wifey, his wifey's from Manchester as well. He lives in Australia. His wifey's from Manchester.
Did you just say you're not that way inclined after you've had a wedding and you didn't invite, man? What's that all about?
Bro, we share the bed together. Let's be real, bro.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm trying to say, man. You know what I mean?
By the way, I found his last donation.
By the way, and it's not true what you say. I didn't end up in a wheelchair, right?
No, he didn't end up in the wheelchair. He's a good spoon, though. He's a good spoon. I ain't gonna lie, man.
Oh my gosh.
That was funny. We fully smuggled you into that hotel as well. That was hilarious.
Yeah, man. I ain't even meant to be there, boy. I mean, me, Lewis, and Lee, we got mad. We got little out there. We got mad out there. It was mad still. Shout out Lewis, man. Lewis is my guy. You lot giving him grief earlier on. I beg you, allow him. I mean, good brother, man. Real brother. He was just pissed off because I battered him on FIFA, man. You know what I mean? I does that sometimes. I does that to people. People, you know, they get in their feelings, in it. You know what I mean?
I swear down.
I spoke this guy. I spoke him.
Yeah, play on Ultimate Team. Different story, man.
That's players of steroids, man. You know what I mean? That's people. That's players of steroids, man. You can't do that.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it's all love, man. It's all love.
We're about to get up out of here. I hope you guys are well. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. I can't stress this enough. Please stay safe. I hope the last hour and a half has at least been a distraction from the madness that's outside. But please stay safe. Please wash your hands. Please shower. You know, all them stuff. Please
stay in your house.
Because, you know, no matter how cynical you want to be, people are dropping and they're dying.
You could very quickly, because I am going to have to go. Yeah, a friend of mine who lives over in Sevilla. Yeah, he lives in Sevilla, a real one. Yeah, he sent me a message earlier saying that one of his friends got €600 done for €600 for walking to the shop to get beer. Yeah, that's how lit it is in Spain right now, baby. And
no, we're headed to that though. We're headed to that.
And guess what? If you don't pay it on the spot in Spain, ta-ta, you're getting passed around like a peace pipe, bruv.
Wow.
I know Spanish prisons don't play. I know that for a fact. They don't play. So, but anyway, we are up out of here. Let's get going. Peace up. A-Town down. And boys,
Ozil out.
Salute.
Oh, by the way, guys.
We're back.
All our socials are in the description below. Me and Ola do an MMA show every single Friday with my man Will. Cool guy. Good show. Make sure you check that out. Chick Flicks, I put something out on Chick Flicks yesterday. I'm putting something out on Chick Flicks tonight. So I'm putting more material out there. So go subscribe to that. And go and join Lee. I'm going to put it one final time in the chat room. His link is right
there. I'll be ready and waiting, baby.
If you man really want to see me get at somebody, like really get at somebody angry, come and watch our MMA show, man.
Ola and Will argue like a married couple. So it's always interesting to watch it. So make sure you go check that out. And we are out of here. We'll be back. I promise to give you more of these podcasts. I know you guys enjoy them. Until next time, really. Take care. Peace.
Ozil out.
Ozil out. Xhaka out. All of them out.
I'll take